have you been by your closest person, pointed at, and called it outsider?
Not joking, not angry, but soaked in alcohol.
Filled with malice from deep within, the ultimate denial of who you are. I have. At 15, the man I called Big Brother for 10 years sent me to hell with one sentence, and my father, who held me as a child and called me his precious daughter, finally opened another door for me. Behind that door was no salvation, but a silent engagement. Just after my 15th birthday,
My life shattered like glass, full of cracks. It started with a small thing. Aunt wanted to fence off a small plot for a shed.
Dad said no, it's public land.
For that, she cursed in the yard all afternoon.
Dad is a simple man, not good with words. He skipped dinner, angry.
Mom comforted him, crying quietly.
I thought
It was over. Quarrels happened in the countryside. But at 10 p.m., Cousin Chen Feng, drunk, kicked open.
all yard gate. Ling Jianggu,
Come out! He roared like a furious beast.
who do you think you are? How dare you upset my mom?
Dad rushed out. Mom and I followed. The dim yard light stretched his shadow. Twisted.
Eyes red, he pointed at Dad and cursed. I'm telling you, in this Lin family, a living son-in-law has no say. Everything you have is from us Chens. Dad's face turned red and pale. He did marry into Mom's family, but Mom's surname is Shen, not Chen.
The Chens are a big clan here. Most relatives are Chens.
Thing, you're drunk.
Let's talk calmly, Dad tried.
Drunk, but still clearer than you.
He shoved Dad. Without us Chens, you couldn't even raise a...
Son, let alone him. His finger like poison pointed straight at me.
I froze, blood running cold.
I am Lone White and only child.
That's what I always knew.
But I also knew a secret. I was adopted.
My adoptive parents are my aunt and uncle.
I have a twin sister I've never met, kept by our birth parents.
My parents told me the truth when I was old enough. People around me would also mention it. I tell my parents. Each time, they'd say,
I am their only daughter. They'd love me with all their heart.
and they have all these years.
They'd thinks of me first with any treat. Mom always keeps my room spotless. My brother Shenbo, though older, always looked out for me.
I thought blood ties.
Don't define family.
I thought I was an inseparable part of this home.
Until Chen Feng's words hit me like thunder. He and outsider named Yizo.
Eats our food, drinks our drink, and now you defend him against us?
Ling Jiangguo, forgotten your name? Outsider named Yudong stabbed into my heart like red-hot needles. My mind went blank.
The world went silent.
I saw my dad shaking with rage, his lips trembling as he said, Chen Feng, you bastard. Bastard? Am I wrong? Chen Feng sneered, stepping closer. He's Jiang, not Ling, not even Chen. He's an outsider. You defend an outsider against Mom? Who are you loyal to? Shut up. My dad finally snapped. He lunged to cover Chen Feng's mouth. In a flash, they were fighting. Chen Feng was young and strong, drunk, and didn't hold back.
I heard a dull thud.
Dad fell, groaning in pain. Mom screamed and rushed over. I shoved Chen Feng like crazy.
Get out. Get out now.
He stumbled, his eyes full of drunken malice.
He looked at me and said, word by word, 一六一中. Remember this?
You'll always be an outsider. Then he staggered away,
Leaving us Susamine Day.
and the mask behind.
That night, I felt the icy wind in our warm home. My sense of belonging was just a fragile bubble. Dad's rib was cracked.
2 weeks in the town hospital.
Those 2 weeks home was dead.
Mom ran between hospital and home, eyes always red. My brother Shenbo rushed back from boarding school. Seeing Dad in bed,
He punched the wall.
said he'd tear Chen Feng apart. Dad stopped him, sighed, and said, forget it. He's family. Making a scene is ugly. Family again. I sat on a small stool nearby, peeling an apple. My fingers trembling. Is this really family? Can family hurt you without consequence? Can they use you are an outsider as a weapon? Stabbing my heart again and again. After discharge, uncle and aunt came with fruit to apologize. Was drunk. Talking nonsense. Don't take it to heart. My parents were silent, then finally said, it's okay. A storm that could shatter a girl's world brushed off with a simple, it's okay.
But I knew something had changed forever.
Back at school, I was a lost ghost. In class, I couldn't hear a word. My mind was stuck on Chen Feng's words, an outsider named Yi. In history class, about ethnic integration, the teacher, my unknown biological uncle, lectured passionately. I looked at his face, so like my birth mother's, wondering why they gave me away. Wondering if from birth, I was just extra. Tears came without warning. First silent, then soft sobs.
Finally, I couldn't hold it.
I buried my face and sobbed loudly. The whole class went quiet. My deskmate Mingjia patted my back gently, saying nothing. The boy behind, Dao ran, handed me tissues. My uncle on the podium froze.
He looked at me, confused.
I cried my heart out as if letting out 15 years of hurt and confusion. After that day, I grew even quieter. I started fearing going home.
Fearing passing Uncle's house, fearing any talk of family.
Once after school, on the village path, I ran into Chen Feng. He seemed to have forgotten that night. He grinned at me as usual, reaching out
To ruffle my hair.
calling me Wei Wei. School's out. I looked at his outstretched hand and felt only disgust. My body reacted before my mind. I stepped back sharply, dodged him. He froze, embarrassed. He awkwardly withdrew his hand. I opened my mouth, but the big brother I'd called since childhood just wouldn't come out. Finally, I just lowered my head, past him, and ran off fast.
I could feel his gaze on my back.
Shocked and complicated, but I didn't care. Once a crack forms in your heart, it can never be fixed. Like a broken mirror, glue it back. It's not the same. Back then, I had nightmares often.
In Lem, I'd run through endless darkness or faceless people.
Would point and say, "You are an outsider. Get out." One weekend afternoon, that crushing feeling of abandonment hit me again. I don't know why, but I left the house. I walked and walked to the half-dug stone hill behind the village. The wind was strong at the cliff. It almost knocked me over.
I looked down at the 30-meter drop. A terrible thought came to me.
If I jump, would I finally be free?
No more hurtful words. No more wondering who I am.
I closed my eyes and took a small step forward.
Right then, Mom's face flashed in my mind.
I remembered her gentle profile as she mended my clothes, her worry as she stayed up all night by my bedside when I was sick. I remembered her always saying, "My Will is the best daughter in the world." Tears burst out. I can't die. If I die, Mom would be heartbroken. I snapped my eyes open,
Stumbled back.
Then I crouched down, hugging myself, crying like a lost child.
The sun set, stretching my shadow long. I knew I'd crawled back from the edge. But that abyss was now etched in my heart. A constant reminder
That an invisible wall separates me from the world.
I knew I was sick.
No cure. The aftermath of that storm was my failed high school exam.
I took it in a daze. My score was far below the top county school.
My parents didn't blame me. They just said a regular high school was fine.
But I knew it was different. My drive was gone. High school was 3 dull years. I only got into a provincial college, studying a damn popular major. College was a buffer from my suffocating home and messy
family, no one knew my past.
I became close with a roommate. We went to class, the library,
And ate at every food street on weekends. I started to smile again,
but the scars
never really healed.
That's when
I met Siu Jae. He was in my class,
tall and thin,
with black-rimmed glasses, always quiet in the corner. He aced every major class.
his answers were always spot on.
Our first real contact was during a group project. We were paired together.
We practically lived in the library. He was quiet but thoughtful. He'd silently open my bottle, and he remembered, "I hate cilantro," telling the cook to skip it.
We talked about everything, from code to movies, from future plans to our hometowns. He said he was from a small northern town. Heavy snow in winter. I listened, feeling a strange longing.
A quiet feeling grew between us. We never said it, but we both knew.
After graduation, he went home. I stayed in the city.
We talked daily, sharing work stories. It was the happiest time of my life. I felt like a normal girl. With real friendship and sweet hope, I even dreamed of building a real home with Suje. A small home. That light made me forget the darkness. But fate hits hardest when you have hope.
The winter after graduation, my mom called. Her voice was choked with tears.
Oh,
Wait, come home quick. Grandpa is dying. My mind went blank. I took leave and bought the first ticket home. Grandpa was the closest to me, besides my parents and brother.
he'd hold me as a kid.
Tell stories and save me the best candy. When I got home, he was already in a coma. The house was in chaos. All the relatives came, including Uncle's family. Chen Fen avoided my eyes.
He tried to greet me, but just nodded, silent.
I stayed by Grandpa's bed for 3 days, but he never woke up.
During the funeral prep,
I was exhausted, barely checked my phone. When everything is settled,
I realized Suje and I hadn't talked in a week. I texted him about my family.
he replied fast. My condolences. Take care. Just a few words. Polite but distant. My heart sank. I wanted to call, but didn't know what to say.
Those days, I was drowning in grief and exhaustion. No energy left for that fragile relationship. So our connection
Slowly faded. The light came my word went out, and a bigger storm was brewing. On Grandpa's 21st day memorial, relatives gathered again. After dinner, Aunt 3 pulled me aside, smiling mysteriously. Wei Wei, you're 23 now, right?
time to think about your future.
I froze, not knowing her angle. She added, What about our LA? You grew up together. You know him well. Perfect match.
Olay is my cousin Chenlei.
I felt thunderstruck. My blood ran cold.
I stared at her wrinkled face.
It felt absurd and disgusting. And we're cousins.
I forced the words out. Oh, cousins.
No blood relation. So what? She waved dismissively. You two were close as kids. It's making it even better. See, if you marry him, you're still part of the Chan family.
No one will bully you.
Still part of the Chan family. No one will bully you. So, in their eyes, I was never family. They thought marrying me off to a family member was the solution. That's the greatest blessing and protection for me. I was shaking with rage. My voice rose too. And I won't marry Chinlei. I like someone else.
I blurted out Sojia as a shield.
My voice caught everyone's attention in the living room, including my parents. My aunt's face fell instantly. She pursed her lips and said, "Oh,
Like someone else? Some outsider.
can't trust family more. Besides, your parents raised you."
Will they agree to your marriage? Everyone's eyes turned to my dad. I looked at him hopefully.
I wish he'd be like when I was 15.
Clumsy, but standing up for me, calling them out. But my dad just stayed silent.
Frowning, smoking one cigarette after another. At that moment, the last spark in my heart
Went out. After the fight with my aunt, I thought it was over.
I naively thought if I was firm enough and my parents didn't support it, they couldn't force me. That night, I made a Morshoff in my room and sent a Suje a very long message.
Told him everything at home.
Told him my fears and hurt. I was like a drowning person grabbing the last piece of a driftwood.
But that driftwood
Didn't respond. The message vanished without a trace. The next day, Dad called me to the living room. He sat on the sofa, looking 10 years older overnight. He put out his cigarette and looked up at me, his voice hoarse. He said, Wei, your aunt was out of line.
Don't take it to heart.
I relaxed, thinking he was comforting me.
But he changed the subject.
Your marriage really needs thinking about. The smile froze on my face.
A girl wandering outside isn't right.
I've thought it over. While we can still move, find you a good match, marry nearby, so we can look after each other. I stared at him in disbelief. I don't want to marry so soon. He frowned. Didn't you say you liked someone yesterday? That Suja guy. Where's he from? What's his family like? How far from us? Questions rained down. I was speechless. What could I say? That he's from the far north. That we just like each other.
We're not even official.
That he hasn't replied in days. My silence to Dad meant guilt. An excuse not to marry? He sighed. His tone softened. Wei, I am doing this for you.
Look, your uncle's families
Are watching you. And said that others might think the same as long as you're unmarried.
they'll treat you like a thing to arrange.
Only when you marry, settle down, have your own home.
Will they finally give up? So, to make them stop.
I should just marry anyone? My eyes reddened with anger. Dad, it's my marriage, not a fix for your problems.
What fix?
My dad's temper flared.
His voice shot up. I am protecting you. You think I want you gone?
But stay here. In this village, the gossip won't stop. Remember what happened with Tainfeng?
I don't want you hurt again.
Get it? I get it. How could I not? His protection is just pushing me out. This outsider, out of the family, out of the clan. Shove me out. A married daughter is like water thrown out. Once I'm married, I belong to another family.
No ties to the chance? No reason to control me. That's his real thought. My heart went cold.
Dad, I won't go on blind dates. I stared back defiantly. Not your choice. He slammed the table.
Stood up, towering over me. I've asked your aunt to find someone.
Meet one next weekend. If you still call me Dad.
You'll go. He'd never spoken to me so harshly.
I watched his face, red with rage. Suddenly, he felt like a stranger.
All those years of father-daughter love
Before family and a reputation.
meant nothing. I didn't argue.
I went to my room, locked the door, leaned on it. I slid down slowly. Tears fell silently.
Outside, it got dark. I knew my life.
Was sentenced by my father, whom I respected most. I went on the blind date, with Dad threatening suicide and Mom crying.
I gave in. Or I was numb.
Su Jie still hadn't replied. I opened his profile one last time. His moments showed a new post. A photo with a girl. Caption, my sunshine. That moment, I deleted all his contacts. The last hope in my heart was completely gone. The first man my aunt set up owned a supermarket in town. 8 years older. Beer belly.
He asked my salary right away. Can I cook? Will I have 2 sons?
I excused myself to the restroom. I just left. Dad was furious, almost hit me. I stared at him coldly. If you want to sell me, at least find a decent buyer.
That broke his heart. A long Cold War began.
Then my aunt set up a second one.
He was a friend of a friend's husband. I had no hope.
Just going through the motions.
We met at a cafe in town. He was already there.
Jiuyan, clean white shirt, short hair, not handsome, but neat and calm.
He saw me, stood up.
And politely pulled out my chair.
Hi, I'm Zhao Yan. His voice was flat.
Ling Wei, I said briefly. We drank half our coffee in silence. Then he spoke again.
My aunt told me about you.
My heart skipped a beat. I wondered what Aunt Big Mouth said. Jia saw my discomfort. He said he called you a good girl, but your family's complicated. No details, just that you might not want marriage.
I looked out, surprised.
He met my gaze, his eyes honest. Ling Wei, I'll be straight. I am 30 this year. Family's pressuring me. I am busy. No time for dating.
I need someone to
Live a stable life with.
He paused, choosing words.
I can't give you a passionate romance,
But I promise a stable home.
respect you, be responsible. Our assets after marriage can be notarized if you don't want the keys now.
I can wait. I was stunned.
I've seen rushed marriages, deals.
But never someone like him, treating marriage as a partnership, laying out all terms for me.
This felt like a business deal, not a date.
Why me? I asked.
He paused, then said, my aunt says you are quiet. I think quiet is good. Quiet. Yes, after all that.
I'd lost the energy to be loud.
After that, we kept in casual touch. He was busy. We met once a week, sometimes just for dinner.
Or a walk in the park.
We rarely talked about our pasts.
Mostly work or entertainment news.
He's quiet, but always there when I need him.
He'd pick me up after late work, bring medicine when I'm sick, then tell me to rest and leave.
He never asked why I'm sad, never tried to get inside.
He just gave me a perfectly distingué. With him, I felt safe but empty.
6 months later, he proposed. No flowers, no ring.
After dinner one night, driving me home, he pulled over.
Calmly asked, Lin Wei,
Will you marry me? I think we'd make good partners. Partner, looking into his calm eyes.
I suddenly smiled. Yes.
What I need now is a partner to take me away from that home.
Love, that luxury. I quit long ago, okay. I heard myself say. My friends were shocked when they heard I was getting married. Linja asked me 3 times on the phone. Wei Wei, are you sure? Do you know him? Do you love him? I am sure. I don't know him. But that doesn't matter. I don't love him. And that matters even less. What matters is he gives me legal status. A reason to leave that home. He's my fastest and only way to shed the label of outsider.
It's a deal. I'd trade my life for a breath of freedom.
Our wedding was simple.
No fuss. Just a dinner with close family at a hotel.
My side only had my parents and brother. My uncle's family.
I didn't invite any. Dad sulked, but I wouldn't budge. On the wedding day, in a red dress and heavy makeup,
I couldn't smile. I was a puppet, following the MC's lead.
toasting and saying thanks and best wishes. Dad drank a lot.
Finally, he hugged me and cried.
He said, Wei Wei, I'm sorry.
At the Zhou family,
Lie well. Stop being stubborn. In his arms, tears welled up, but none fell.
with a dead heart, how could there be tears? I just patted his back gently and said, Dad, I know. Jian was flawless all night. He greeted every guest politely.
Drank for me and subtly supported me when I was tired. He was the perfect business partner, doing his duty. Back at our new, lifeless home, I kicked off my heels, exhausted.
Zhouyan handed me warm water. Shower first? Rest early? I nodded and went to the bathroom. Hot water washed over me. I stared at the stranger in heavy makeup in the mirror, and a wave of panic hit me. From today, I'll live with that man, Zhouyan.
As husband and wife, under one roof, I don't know his likes, his past, or where our future leads.
I just jumped from one cage
Into another unknown one.
After my shower, Zhouyan was gone from the living room. I went to the bedroom. He was already in bed, facing away. The bed was huge, with a clear divide between us. I hesitated, then lay on the other side. The room was silent, just our soft breathing. In the dark, my eyes were open, wide awake. Just as I thought the night would pass in silence, Yayan spoke. Lin Wei? I replied, my body tense.
I know you married me.
Maybe not willingly. His voice was clear in the dark. I won't force you into anything.
You can treat this as a temporary haven.
I was shocked he'd say that. He seemed to turn over.
Facing me, though I couldn't see his expression.
Give me time and give yourself time. He said we could take it slow.
Take it slow was like a pebble dropped into my stagnant heart, causing a tiny ripple.
I didn't answer, just closed my eyes. A hot tear from the corner of my eye finally fell, soaking into the pillow, silent. On our wedding night, my husband gave me a promise of time and space.
Our marriage was destined to be a long, silent game. I don't know where this escape marriage will lead me.
I only know that since I was 15. My life has been off track.
Now, I'm on another strange train.
Heading to a completely unknown place. But because it's him, I'll be brave once more. I am young, life has endless possibilities. I'll live Lin Wei's best life.